The Distinctive Funeral. distinctivefunerals.com.au.
Hey caravan buyers, listen up. Want a great caravan at a bargain price? Then don't miss the best going, gone sale ever. Our landlord has sold the property and our lease can't be renewed, so we've got to be going, gone quick smart. And so does the great range of new and used caravans we have in stock. So be quick and grab your dream van from Adelaide Custom Caravans at a never-to-be-repeated dream price. But hurry before they're all going, gone. Get to Adelaide Custom Caravans today, South Road, Darlington.
Meet for a cuppa at Coffeelosophy. Move your body at Hatha Yoga. Invest your wellness at Devar House. Repair your leathers at Ideal Shoe Repairs. Print your family photos at Hutt Street Photos. Stop for an aperitif at Bar Torino. Order lunch at Chianti. Spice up your senses at Ragi's. Grab a classic pub meal at Arab Steed Hotel. Sip your favourite at Hutt Street Cellars. Whatever your reason, Hutt Street is worth the visit. After all, it's your corner of the city. The best corner of the city.
7 News Early Edition. Adelaide's FIVEAA.
Well, speculation's brewing that two of the world's biggest pop stars, Celine Dion and Lady Gaga, will perform a duet for the Paris Games opening ceremony. There are reports they've been rehearsing the popular French song La Vie en Rose. Speculation's been further fuelled by sightings of both the stars in Paris. The duet would be Celine's first performance since she was diagnosed with stiff person syndrome. Well, let's take a look at the weather now for your Friday. We're expecting a possible shower and a top of 17 degrees in the city today. Across the state, 20 in Maree, 15 in Clare, 17 in Port Lincoln, 19 degrees in Murray Bridge and 15 in Mount Gambier. There is a gale wind warning for the lower southeast coast and strong winds for the lower west, central and upper southeast coasts and also the Investigator Strait. Interstate 25 in Brisbane, showers and 20 in Sydney, mostly sunny and 16 in Melbourne and showers and 18 degrees in Perth. Showers easing back home, 13's the top tomorrow, up to 8 mils and 14 degrees on Sunday. Sunny and 15 Monday, mostly sunny and 16 Tuesday and 17 degrees on both Wednesday and on Thursday. And that's all from 7 Adelaide's Early Edition team. Thanks for your company. Will has all the day's top stories for you in 7 News at 6 and I'll see you again at 4 o'clock. Bye for now.
Find 40 years experience, plus Hyundai, Ford, Mitsubishi and Mazda at Steinborner Automotive. Steinborner.com.au.
Live from the Kent Town Hotel, celebrating the 85th birthday of Ken KG Cunningham. This is a Special Conversations with Cornesy, live.
G'day everybody, welcome to the Saturday morning sports show.
Well, at least you'll be on time.
But it's Conversations with Cornesy with a very special guest. We're in the Kent Town Hotel, the function room of the Kent Town Hotel, and it's people still streaming in. It's sold out, KG. Did you realise you were so popular?
Well, I'm not popular, sadly, but I'm just so grateful for and blown away by the support of seeing so many people here today that you and I have been speaking to for so many years, and it'll, as I said a moment ago, it'll be nice to put faces to the voice.
I don't want to hear any negatives, though. I don't want to hear you say, look, you're only average or you weren't good
well,
enough.
I
don't want to hear that.
Well,
Let's just enjoy it for what it is.
But it is me.
It's your birthday today. Some famous people share the same birthday. We've got a special guest.
Really? I think I know one, Studley.
Do you?
The same day and same
Now,
month.
if this goes to plan, Sam back in the studio will press the button and we'll hear who it is.
Hello KG, it's John Howard. Isn't it amazing? We were born on the same day, 85 years ago, the 26th of July, 1939, and it's remarkable. And it's remarkable that we're both still going and perpendicular. You've had a much greater sporting career than I have. You represented your state in cricket. You were a extremely successful Australian rules umpire, and you ran a very widely viewed and listened to sports show in Adelaide. So you have a happy birthday. We have a common love of sport, of cricket in particular, and of our wonderful country, Australia. Happy birthday.
Now, we've done a conversation before, and we sat down and we talked about this. We said, well, what can you say that people haven't heard before? And probably not much, but it's good to revisit it. I'm always intrigued by your childhood. What sort of kid you were?
Well, it started being a young boy, has led to me sitting here today with all my friends and yourself, Stanley, and being lucky enough over the years to have done some of the things that I've done. If it wasn't for mother and father, and I know they've been long gone, but I'll never forget them. They were marvellous to me. There's no doubt. I have a sister, Deanna, who's still alive, but I was Mum's pet from day one. No, don't laugh. It was true. I could have burnt the house down, and Mum would have blamed Deanna. No one was ever good enough for her boy. She always called me boy. Only time she called me Ken was when she was angry. Then I knew to nick off. But it was always boy this, boy that, and no one. I was her flavour of her life.
Yeah, but you always say that. It always seems to me that indicates you might have been a wimpy little kid. But
no, I wasn't a wimpy little kid. I was naughty.
Well, we heard about the broken
church.
Well, tell us that story.
Well, Whitmore Square, having been born and bred in Market Street, which is still there in the West End, there were some wild boys around in those days, and we used to kick the footy around in Whitmore Square, jump over the drunks, and we used to play cricket in Whitmore Square.
Jump over the drunks.
Well, they were there. And I remember this day that I was at the church of St. Luke's. I often drive past it and think, gee, I was a naughty boy. We were playing cricket in the square, and I was given out, and I wasn't out. So I picked up the ball and threw it straight through the window of the St. Luke's church. And I headed home, and Mum said, boy, you're home a bit early tonight. And I said, well, I'm in a bit of a hurry, Mum. Had she known that I'd done what I did, I would have been in all sorts of strife, but that was an occasion.
She never found out.
She never found out. Thank goodness she didn't.
Did you tell her later in life?
Well, no, I don't think I did. I didn't find the courage to do it because she loved me. I was her boy, Studley.
I love the story about your grandfather.
Oh, you're a naughty boy.
Tell us about your grandfather. This is your mum's father.
He lived with us. His name is George Fort. He's known George Fort, a beautiful old man, but he was a naughty man. He was an SP bookmaker, which in those days was very, very illegal. But every Saturday he'd be sitting out the back of our house in his chair. He'd have the radio there. He'd have the form guides of Adelaide and Melbourne, and he'd have these little slips in a container alongside of him. And he used to get phone calls during the week, and Mum used to say, "Now, Dad, what are you getting so many phone calls?" We get a lot of calls. We found out later that what he was doing, getting calls from his friends who liked to punt with him, that this is the reason they rang, when he kept a list of their bets in that container.
But he didn't always win.
No, he didn't. He lost big time on one occasion when Mum found out. And oh God, all hell broke loose. But he used to bury the slips in a tool bag and hide it behind the garage, or dig a little part and hide it down there until the cops came around a couple of times and Mum found out, and that was in the SP bookmaker. I can give you the strong tip.
But did they not have to pay out his debts though? Your mum and dad
Mum did it.
How much?
Well, he couldn't pay. It was a lot of money in those days. That Mum said, "I'm going to have to borrow the money, Dad, to pay your betting debts." It went down like a lead balloon. But he was a beautiful man. He lived with us for years. But beautiful man, and he sit there with his tea and drink tea and all that, and burn his lips. The tea was so bloody hot, but he was naughty.
We know it's legendary, the bullying you faced at high school, or Goody Tech.
Goody Tech.
What was your primary school like? I mean,
Ascot Park was magnificent.
So you were happy there?
Oh, I was as happy as Larry, and I went to Goody Tech, and even at Ascot Park I had this stutter, stammer if you call it, and no problems. Went to Goody Tech, and the bigger kids there mimicked me. Got behind me. In fact, Mum used to send me to the shop in those days. I'd wait till the shop was empty until I went in, then I'd go in and buy the goods that Mum wanted. Sometimes, many times, I'd get halfway through saying I wanted this, and I'd stutter and I'd run out of the shop, run home crying to Mum. But they bullied me, and I said that I'm not going to school anymore, Mum. That's it, finished. And she said, boy, you've got to go to school. I said, I'm not going to school. Cut a long story short, she took me to a doctor, Dr. George Solomon. He consulted in Victoria Square, and he said, Mrs. Cunningham, young Ken's not in a good way. And the end of the story was that he communicated with the education department, and I got exemption from going to school when I was age 12. And if someone had said to me then that down the track I'd be sitting here talking to all these people and yourself, I'd have said you're crazy.
How did you cure it? Do you know?
Mainly because when I went to play cricket, and you mix with a lot of people, and they helped me along the way, saying, take a deep breath, talk slowly, and so forth and so on. But they were tough days. Dr. Solomon said to Mum, young Ken's on the verge of a breakdown. I didn't know what a breakdown was, and found out later a nervous breakdown.
Wow.
So I wasn't in a good way, Stud. Not a good way at all.
It's fair to say, though, sport saved you? Is it fair to say that?
No doubt. It saved me big time in many ways.
How good a young cricketer were you? When I say that, you're going to be modest about it. But at every school, there's a kid who's good at cricket, good at footy, quite the star of the school. I mean, were you in that category?
No, look, I'm not going to be modest about it. I'm going to be honest about it. I was a very average footballer and a very average cricketer. No. That's you know your own capabilities. You know what you can do, what you can't do. But I was lucky, ladies and gentlemen, because when I played state cricket, I played alongside.
Yeah, hang on, we're going to come to that.
All right.
You say you're a school. Did you play state cricket when you were a schoolboy?
I did. I went to Sydney.
Okay.
Sydney.
Did you play state footy when you were a schoolboy?
I did. I went to Whyalla. But I was just
average footballers and cricketers do not get selected in state teams.
I was of a different mould. I was average, very, very average. I knew what I could do and what I couldn't do, and as I said, I've grown up with some of the greatest players of all time.
I'm getting wound up here by Justin over there in the audience. We're live from the Kentown Hotel. This is KG Cunningham. Not this is your life, but it feels like it. Back shortly, folks.
Health, wellness and a happier you. Tune into the House of Wellness each week at the new time of 11 a.m. Sundays. Get the latest health news and trends to keep you feeling great. The House of Wellness, thanks to Chemist Warehouse. Now Sundays at 11 a.m. on Adelaide's FIVEAA.
Everyone deserves a place to call home, which is why the state government has developed the Housing Roadmap to provide more homes for South Australians. Learn more at housingroadmap.sa.gov.au. A message from the Government of South Australia.
Over 50 and ready to dive into something amazing? This is for you. We're planning for your future with 2 new over 50s lifestyle resorts in Goolwa and Encounter Bay. With our vision for world-class facilities and endless activities, your next phase of life could deliver your best years yet with pools, gymnasiums, bowling greens and more. Visit our new display centre at 1 Banfield Road, Goolwa North, or check out lakesideresort.com.au or oceanviewresort.com.au.
Hi, it's Jane Riley. Fashion is a passion for me, but keeping up with trends that last 5 minutes is exhausting. If you prefer classic styles that never go out of date, go where I go, Sydney Street. For 35 years, this iconic SA fashion store has helped mums and daughters find their timeless style, and with over 60 quality brands on their racks, finding your fit is effortless. See the new stock at Sydney Street on Unley Road. Shop online at sydneystreet.com.au.
Living with diabetes? Ditch finger pricks with Freestyle Libre. Freestyle Libre is a small wearable sensor that monitors your glucose levels and trends and sends them straight to your phone. Instant up-to-date feedback. No finger pricks. How good is that? And you can trial Freestyle Libre for only $15. Just head to freestylelibre.com.au to find out how. T's and C's apply. Follow directions for use. Read warnings before purchase. Free yourself from finger pricks with Freestyle Libre.
Hey caravan buyers, listen up. Want a great caravan at a bargain price? Then don't miss the best going, gone sale ever. Our landlord has sold the property and our lease can't be renewed, so we've got to be going, gone quick smart. And so does the great range of new and used caravans we have in stock. So be quick and grab your dream van from Adelaide Custom Caravans at a never-to-be-repeated dream price. But hurry before they're all going, gone. Get to Adelaide Custom Caravans today, South Road, Darlington.
Welcome to Life's Key Moments, brought to you by First National Real Estate.
A key to my home where my furry friends are always welcome.
The key to endless adventures in my retirement.
The key to growing our own veggies and plenty of space for the kids to play.
The key to living the dream away from the big smoke.
The kids and girls night every night.
Your key to happiness awaits. Visit firstnational.com.au or call 1800 032 332. First National Real Estate. We put you first.
What starts with A and ends with E? Supplements for you and me.
FIVEAA health supplements are now available at Chemist Warehouse for just $49.99 a bottle. You save over $19 a bottle at Chemist Warehouse.
Find 40 years experience, plus Hyundai, Ford, Mitsubishi and Mazda at Steinborner Automotive. Steinborner.com.au.
Live from the Kent Town Hotel, celebrating the 85th birthday of Ken KG Cunningham. This is a Special Conversations with Cornesy, live.
Welcome back, folks. We're live at the Kent Town Hotel. The function room is full of people. They've been really good. They're quiet when they need to be quiet. KG's reminiscing. We're going through his life. And you can
It's not a very exciting life, Stud.
Oh, you're kidding me.
No, mate. I've been blessed. I know I keep saying this, but when I woke up this morning and I saw two of my three granddaughters, my beautiful daughter, and I knew today was on, that I'd be meeting so many wonderful people, because I wouldn't be here without the support of these people in this room. I owe them the world.
We understand that.
No, but when you sit down and think about it, you and I wouldn't be sitting here if it wasn't for those.
We never take them for granted.
Well, that's exactly.
We might
right.
argue with them.
We do.
We might criticise.
I never win an argument, but I like an argument occasionally.
That's part of the deal.
It is.
We actually are taking the odd text. I want to read this one. Sue says from Chrissy Tweets, does KG remember my nana? Oh, hang on.
See, this is what I've got to put up with every Saturday morning.
Well,
can't loses the text messages. You give him one job to do, and he'll stuff it up.
Well, the iPad.
Oh, now see, he won't take the blame. He'll blame the bloody iPad.
Anyway, says KG, remember my nana used to stop at the corner of Beer Street or Beer Avenue
Beer Avenue
and speak to her. So,
yes, she's a lovely lady.
So you do remember?
I do remember, yeah.
So Sue Heddle of Christie's Beach, KG, on the corner of Bear and Horson Avenue at North Clinton.
Horson Avenue, yeah. I used to go there regularly, Horson Avenue.
Okay, so you're a good young cricketer, you're a good young footballer. You go out to the Adelaide Cricket Club. I mean, your cricket journey is really most important because that sort of sets the scene, probably more so than your umpiring.
Oh, no doubt.
So how old were you when out to Adelaide?
Well, Dad took me to my late dad. He was a marvellous human being. He took me to the Adelaide Oval. I always wanted to play cricket at the Adelaide Cricket Club because of the association with Adelaide Oval and number 2 ground. And I can remember walking in there when I was 12 years of age, wanting and hoping and praying that I could play grade cricket. And then one day, my burning ambition as a kid, practicing with Dad in the back lawn of our place at Aldridge Avenue, was to be lucky enough to play Sheffield Shield cricket for South Australia.
So how old were you when you first played for Adelaide?
I played my first game when I was 14, A-grade game at 14.
You played your first A-grade game at 14.
And I remember...
Now, this is when the greats of the game... Clary Grimmett was one of your coaches.
He was my very first coach. He was known as the Grum. A lovely, lovely man. And he coached me right through my days. I was at Adelaide for 30-odd years. And he coached me right through the grades there. And I was 14 when I played my first A-grade game down the bay. And I'll never forget it. I was a leg spinner in those days. Couldn't bowl, hoop downhill. We played Glenelg at Glenelg. And for the people in the room, Graham Hull, who played for Australia and for South Australia, kept hitting me into the tennis courts on the Bay Oval for 6, and that was the end of my leg spinning days. I put that in the locker and threw the key away. That was it.
Did your dad play cricket?
Dad played for Brunswick, both football and cricket, in the South Parklands of Adelaide, yeah.
There's a lovely story about your father.
Oh, God, don't start.
Well, I have to tell the story. He worked at Balfour's.
Yeah.
In...
I'll never forget.
Where Morford, right?
Cornham, Franklin and Morford Street it was. It was Balfour Walker when Dad went there. He was there 35 years as a driver. What was this?
You can do it, come on. Deep breath.
And foreman of the factory. He died 2 weeks before his 60th birthday. And at the funeral, David Walker, who was a partner, in later years was just called Balfour, it was Balfour Walker, or Walker Balfour in those days, said to me, KG, he called me Ken, not KG then, he called me Ken, he said, Ken, payday at Balfour's is every Thursday. If you would like to go into the office every Thursday, you can pick up Dad's wages. I did that for 18 months. I went into the office. The lady there was Mary. And I walked in, and every Thursday, there was 2 cardboard boxes with the top cut off. In this cardboard box was Balfour's pies, pasties and sausage rolls. In this cardboard box was custard tarts, Albert bar, my favourite, the Napoleon bar, which was beautiful, and the green frogs. And Mary would say, Ken, just be careful how you take the second carton. Dad's wages are in the pay packet in the pocket there, and there's some coins in the pay packet. Now they did that, and I can honestly say, I don't think Mum would have got by had Balfour's not done what they did. That's why I was so disappointed when Balfour's are now sort of virtually gone. They were so generous, and you think about it. Every Thursday for 18 months, I was embarrassed at the end, and when David became very sick, that's when it stopped.
How did your mum survive after that? How did your mum get by after that?
Mum struggled when Dad died. Mum lived in a unit at Kebden Park in Clifton Street, and I used to say to Mum, how are you? And I used to see her virtually every day, and she had some of Dad's friends wanting to sort of take her out to the movies or take her to a meal, and she wouldn't go. I used to say, Mum, you go, this is what Dad would want. And she wouldn't go, and even my sister used to say to her, Deanna would say to her, Mum, you go. We're happy for you to go. You've got to have a life, and Dad would want this. And she used to say to me, no, Dad was the only...
I get it. Your dad was influential in your umpiring.
Oh, and my cricket. When he worked at Balfour's, Studley, and I worked at Farmers Union, which is on the corner of Bentham and Franklin Street. I used to work in the share department, write the share certificates. Dad used to go and work at Balfour's in the factory. He'd leave home at 4. He'd work right through until, say, 3:30 in the afternoon.
4 o'clock in the morning, you know?
Yeah, because in the bakehouse. And he'd finish at 4 in the afternoon. He used to park his car, Holden car, outside of Sands and McDougall in Light Square. He'd get in his car at, say, 3:30. He'd buy the news, not the newspaper. He'd drive around. He'd park in Franklin Street outside of Farmers Union. I'd finish work at 5. He'd drive me down to Adelaide Oval number 2 ground, sit on the benches on number 2 ground while I trained, and then drove me home. He did that every Tuesday and Thursday night.
As umpire training or cricket training?
No, cricket training.
Cricket training.
At number 2 ground. That's how great a father he was. As I said, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't Mum and Dad.
Well, how did you get into umpiring?
Well, Dad was an umpire. Dad umpired league football with Max Hall and Ken Applin.
You're kidding?
No, and I was playing.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. He umpired about 6 games, and I love my cricket, and I got injured playing footy for West Adelaide Senior Colts, playing with the late Jeff Bray, and Dad said, "Look, why don't you take up umpiring?"
What injury did you have?
Knee injury, whatever, knee and cuff. I couldn't play anyway, but I got injured, and Dad said, "Look, why don't you become an umpire? Keep yourself fit for cricket." He said, "Be a boundary umpire first," which I did. I umpired the 1961 grand final, Port versus West. Then went from a boundary umpire to field umpire, and Dad was my trainer. He used to come with a little kit bag, and he'd rub me down at half time. He'd tell me at half time how I was going, and he came to every game, this little kit bag.
Did you have to go to the country and all those places?
I used to change behind a bloody tree at Red Hill numerous times. Then I had a game, Brompton and Royal Park. Now you could imagine how that was, Brompton and Royal Park. I parked my car, and that was it. That was the end of it. I couldn't get after the game. I couldn't get back into the change room. They'd bolted that up. They thrown my bloody keys away, and they found in there. And I had to ring up Dad to get home. and there were fights all afternoon. All afternoon.
So which team was unhappy with you?
Both. And all they wanted to do was fight. Royal Park and Brompton. Just imagine that. I'm not kidding you. They weren't angels. They weren't fairies. They just wanted to punch the living daylights out of everybody. And they did it.
Can you remember your first game? First league game?
First league game was at Kensington Oval.
Oh, really?
Yes. Sturt versus West Adelaide. Aldo Rosetta, the Greek god, one of my favourite footballers. Doug Thomas played. And Sturt beat West Adelaide that particular day.
Can you remember the McGary medal votes?
Oh, Jesus.
A random question.
Now, this can't leave the room. This must not leave the room. Peter Darley, don't you look at me like that. I didn't report you. It was Chuka Hall. 1965. This is a true story, as I sit here. I'm coming back from Perth, where I was over there as reserve umpire for the carnival. And Curlis is on the plane, Neil Curley. And I'd had a few sherbets and sitting down talking. And I said to Curls, "Now, Curls, if you keep your mouth shut, you're a chance to win the McGary medal." He said, "No, those bloody weak umpires, they wouldn't give me any votes. You can't say boo to them." He said, "They won't give me any votes." I knew I'd given him 4 best on grounds. But I didn't tell him that, but I knew it. So I said, "You keep your mouth shut, you'll just about win the McGary medal. You have a big chance." Anyway, cut a long story short, come McGary medal night.
Oh, hang on, you got to. There's one thing.
What?
You did mention to your father, did you not?
Well, I said to Dad.
Come on.
I said to Dad, "What chance Neil Curley to win the McGary?" He's got no chance. He's had an ordinary year. I said, "Dad, no, you look back. He's had a pretty good year."
You told your dad I'd give him 4 BOGs, hadn't you?
Well, I may have whispered very slightly in his ear. I said, "Dad, I know he's got 4 best on grounds." And we're listening to the count. I would have gone to jail. And we're listening to the count. It was only on radio in those days. The late Tom Warhurst and the late Max Hall. And Max Bashir had a habit of rigging the votes so the count was exciting. We're going through the whole rigmarole. And Neil Curley, coming to the last set of matches, was 2 points in front of Gary Window, who played for Central Districts. We come right down to the last, I'll never forget it. I've got my ear on the Laminex top, listening to the radio. The last game of the season, it's Central Districts versus South Adelaide at Adelaide Oval. 1 vote. Day of South Adelaide. I thought, Christ. 2 votes. What was his name? Lester Ross of South Adelaide. 2 votes. And the last vote was Central Districts, 3 votes, Gary Window. Got up and beat Curls by a vote. and I never ever let him forget it. When we had coffee, I said to girls, if you'd have kept your mouth shut, you would be known as a McGary medalist.
KG's my
and that cost me some money, I can tell you. But that's aside.
We need to go to a break.
Well,
settle down.
Well, I'm waiting for the police to come in.
Ken Cunningham live at the Kentown Hotel. Back shortly, folks.
At Complete Care, we're more than just a care provider, we're a family. As we celebrate our 10th year, our mission remains the same, to empower our specialised team of carers and client service managers to help our seniors live independently. We provide personalised services including cleaning and home maintenance to social support and transportation. We look after you like family, offering a warm, caring touch that sets us apart. At Complete Care, we're the company with heart. Complete Care with a K.
Hi, I'm Bronte Manuel from Toop and Toop Real Estate. If you'd told me 2 years ago that South Australian property prices would rival Melbourne's, I wouldn't have believed you. Yet here we are. The median house price in Adelaide has now surpassed the 900,000 mark, a true testament to the strength of our local property market. If you're looking to take advantage of this flourishing market, get in touch with the Toop and Toop team, with nearly 40 years of knowledge and record sale prices. Learn more at toop.com.au.
The word home means a place where one lives permanently as a member of a family or household. But home is more than that, especially when it's a home you help plan and design. A home containing those little touches you ask for, built by tradespeople who settle for nothing less than the best, because they know this is a home you'll love for decades to come. So which SA builder will build the home you want? Rendition Homes, that's who. renditionhomes.com.au.
Complete Windscreens, home of the Big Red Koala. We're a 50-year-old family-owned business that is now an RAA-approved repairer. So for chip repairs, supply and fit windscreens, tinting and ADAS calibration, make sure you tell your insurer or fleet manager you want Complete Windscreens on the job. For emergency glass repairs, contact Complete Windscreens for the best price, quality and same-day service. CompleteWindscreens.com.au, 220 Main North Road, Prospect, home of the Big Red Koala.
5 years. That's around 1,300 cycles in the dishwasher, 1,825 cups of coffee, and 3,650 pieces of toast. 5 years is also the length of the warranty on selected Smeg appliances at Adelaide Appliance Gallery. Get in quick though, because this offer is only available from the 1st of July till the 31st of July. Terms and conditions apply. For more information, head to promotions.smeg.com.au. Adelaide Appliance Gallery, Paynham Road, St Peters.
It's our first Christmas in July at Wayville Hyundai, and we want to make it special. We're inviting you to join us by popping a gift under our Christmas tree so we can pass it on to Kickstart for Kids. Plus, we're donating $100 from every household all month. Head to our website to see how you can help make a difference. Christmas in July at Wayville Hyundai, Goodwood Road opposite the showground. Change the way you Hyundai at Wayville Hyundai.
CMAX Clinical Research is seeking healthy participants to help trial a potential new treatment for primary biliary cholangitis. Your involvement could impact millions globally. You could be eligible for this trial. Call CMAX today if you're aged 18 to 65 and have no significant health concerns. You'll be paid for your time and contribution to help advance medical research. Want to know more about the study? Head on to cmax.com.au and look for the PBC study. That's cmax.com.au.
Coming up on Afternoons with me, Stacey Lee. It's a big day here at FIVEAA, of course, KG's 85th birthday. I hope you're enjoying the conversations with Cornesy and KG. We'll continue the conversation after 1:30. We'll also talk to Joe Hildebrand, see what he thinks about Joe Biden's first address since standing down as the Democratic nomination for the US presidential race. This time last week, he didn't think it was going to happen. He thought Joe Biden would hang in there. So what does he think now? Joe Hildebrand's thoughts. We'll chat to the CEO of the Thunderbirds as they prepare for a big grand final match next weekend. And of course, Foodie Friday. It's Joshua Lansley from East End Cellars today. And of course, pals have some beautiful matching wine. That's for Foodie Friday after 3 o'clock. Thanks to Smeg and Parafield Airport Liquor. So much fun to be had this afternoon. I'll talk to you from 1:30.
Find 40 years experience, plus Hyundai, Ford, Mitsubishi and Mazda at Steinborner Automotive. Steinborner.com.au.
Live from the Kent Town Hotel, celebrating the 85th birthday of Ken KG Cunningham. This is a special Conversations with Cornesy, live.
Yes, folks, thank you for joining us. We're live at the Kent Town Hotel. It's KG's 85th birthday. He demanded that he have a big celebration.
I did not. I did not.
I wanted to be big, he said.
Oh, I did not. I said to my two grandkids sitting there in front of me, they said to me, Pop, what do you want to do for your 85th birthday? I said, 2 options, girls. I'll take you out to dinner with Mum, or we'll have a takeaway and we'll have a quiet night. Next thing I know,
got 250 guests.
250 guests. I didn't know I had so many beautiful friends. I can't thank you enough, and I'll get around afterwards and try and put some voices to the face.
No, you won't.
Oh. see how bloody bossy he is? I've got to put up with this every Saturday morning. Don't you laugh, Michael Keelan.
And now look, the thing that staggers me
is what?
Knowing you over the years.
Yes.
The lack of confidence that you, and that's genuine. I mean,
what do you mean lack of confidence?
The lack of confidence to promote yourself and put yourself forward.
I don't want to promote myself.
But how on earth did you manage to score such a stunner as your wife Sandra?
Well, it was an amazing story. It started out to be the worst day of my life. And I'll lose it here, and I do apologise, but Studley was right. She was drop dead gorgeous in a nice way. I was umpiring at the time, and one of my fellow umpires, the late Murray Smith, a lovely man, said to me, KG, as you know, we've got our Sponsors' Day in 3 weeks' time at McLaren Vale, and it's a big occasion for us. I said, yeah, Murray, I'm looking forward to it. It'd be a good day. He said, look, there's a young lady at Football House which used to do all the umpiring appointments, that's done all the invitations and all the work and everything for us. We've invited her to come along as our guest to the picnic on the Sponsors' Day. And he said, but unfortunately she said no, she's got no one to go with. And he said, now look, you're not, haven't got a friend. I said, Murray, where's this conversation going? I said, I don't like the sound of this.
Can I interrupt?
Yes.
Had you ever had a girlfriend?
Oh, well, not really, not as such. I had an acquaintance when I had my first kiss.
And how old were you then?
12. and you can laugh. But my beautiful daughter sitting there will tell you, I'll get back to this story in a minute, that young lady that I kissed when I was 12 rang this morning.
Oh, did she?
Well, I didn't tell you that, but her name was Pam, wasn't it? Who rang? Thank you.
Hang on, the plot thickens.
And I tried to ring her back. Why? Just because talk about old times.
Okay, listen, that's
because I knew she enjoyed the kiss. She's only human anyway. But getting back to this is my story. I said, I don't like the way this story's going, Murray. He said, look, no strings attached. Just go there, pick her up and drive her to the picnic. I said, Murray, there is no way known on God's earth I'm going to take a lady who I don't even know her name, never met her, to a picnic. No way. And I said, besides that, on the occasions that I've been inside Football House, I go there once a week, they're too old for me. Far too old. No. Anyway, he kept at me and at me and at me. And I said, Murray, for goodness sake, what's her name? He said, her name is Sandra Wright. Can you just give her a ring and make arrangements to pick her up, no strings attached, and take her to the picnic? So I rang her, sounded nice on the phone, I'm Sandra Wright, I've got the address, 13 Byron Road, Black Forest. Remember it vividly. Come the Sunday morning, I woke up and thought, goodness gracious me. Here we go. I'm on a blind date with a lady. I just barely know her name. Never seen her. This will be fun. What do I talk about? What do I do? So I pulled up at number 13. This is a beautiful story.
We're off air at 1:30.
Oh, sorry. I pulled up outside 13 Byron Road, Black Forest, modest home. I took a deep breath. I said, okay, let's get this over and done with. So I parked the car, walked up the front porch, onto the front veranda and went, knocked on the door. Waited, no answer. I said, you beauty. She's obviously got cold feet or she's forgotten. I'm going to give it one more knock, then I'm out of here. Knocked. Just about to walk off the veranda and suddenly the door opens. A nice young lady. And I said, look, my name is Ken Cunningham. I'm here to pick up Sandra to go to a function. She said, hello, Ken, I'm Christine, her sister. Just a moment, I'll get Sandra for her. She closed the door. I'm waiting there. It felt like a bloody eternity. I'm waiting for this girl to come out the door. And suddenly the door opens. I look. I looked again. And I said, nah, I couldn't be this bloody lucky, could I? Fair enough, standing in front of me was a young-looking Audrey Hepburn. And she said, seriously? And she said, hello, Ken, I'm Sandra. Would you like to come in? I said, oh, God, thank you. And I walked in, she held the door. Then she walked past me and she said, Mum and Dad are down in the kitchen. She walked in front of me. She said, follow me. Now, please don't think I'm a chauvinist pig. But this is exactly what happened. I looked at her bottom. I looked at her legs. And I said, Kenny boy, that is the full package.
There was a problem though, wasn't there?
What was the problem?
She had a boyfriend.
Wow. I'll come to that. She had a boyfriend. I didn't know that at the time. Went to Penny, had a good time. Couldn't get on the phone quick enough on the Monday. Took her to the movies. Asked her to go to the West Theatre to see a movie featuring John Wayne, Maureen O'Hara, McClintock. I remember it vividly. End of all time, as you did in those... Don't laugh, this is a true story. As you did in those days, I bought a packet of scorched almonds, which you did in those days. Yeah. Took her to a little coffee shop called the Black Orchid, which is in Hindley Street. We're sitting there having coffee, a general chat after the movie, and suddenly, out of the blue, she says, my boyfriend. I thought, what? She said, my boyfriend Frank has gone back to the south of Italy to see his grandparents. He's been away for 3 weeks. He's back next week. She went on and on and on about her boyfriend Frank. And I said to myself, Kenny boy, if ever there's a message to get on your bike and get out of here, there it is. So I dropped her home, went home and said to Mum, I had a beautiful date tonight, Mum, but she sacked me already. And Mum said, boy, there are plenty of fish in the ocean. But I said, Mum, I think fish was a bit special. Anyway, 6 months later, I'm working out at Kent Town, selling Biddy's baked beans. And Biddy's baked beans was a good seller in those days. And the bloke in the factory, Ray Kent, the Mad Bane man, came in, and said to me, KG, you're wanted on the phone. He said, I don't know who it is. I've gone back into the factory, and I said, hello? And this real little quiet voice on the other end of the phone, and this made my life, seriously, said, please don't think I'm being rude or being forward, but I don't know whether you remember me. My name is Sandra Wright. And I knew immediately who Sandra Wright was. And she said, if you're not involved with a relationship with a lady, I'm wondering if you're free, can you partner me to my Bobby cousin's 21st? And I could have been dating Earl McPherson, and I would have cancelled. But I thought, no. You've given me the flick once, it's my turn to play hard to get here. I said, see, I could be a bit suave. and I said, what did I say? What's the address, Sandra? She told me the time and the date. I said, look, I haven't got my diary. Can I come back to you tomorrow? The diary was sitting right in front of my nose. So I thought I'll play hard to get here. I didn't ring until 4:30 that afternoon. and said, "Yes, Sandra, I'll be available to take you to Bobby's picnic." And she said, "Oh, that'd be nice." We were married on the 27th of March 1965.
How long?
For 52 years. And the most beautiful lady. When I look over there and see my beautiful daughter, that's the one. I look at Sally and I see Sandra, and I'm so grateful for her. How beautiful was she, Sal?
No, I can attest to that, within and without.
I know.
She had a beautiful heart.
Oh, we had so many of our kids' friends live with us, not for a week, not for 2 weeks. But I could tell you a story, but I won't because it would hurt somebody.
We'll take a break. Take KG a time to take his breath. Back shortly, folks.
Every South Australian deserves a place to call home. That's why the state government has developed the Housing Roadmap, releasing land to build tens of thousands of homes and training the workers to build them, investing in the infrastructure we need and fast-tracking planning approvals. We're making big moves now to build more homes for this generation and the next. To learn more, visit housingroadmap.sa.gov.au. A message from the Government of South Australia.
Stay warm this winter with Mac Trade Services. Take advantage of huge SA government rebates on reverse cycle air conditioners. If you are a concession card holder, you can get a reverse cycle Actron air conditioner from only $599, supplied and installed. That's nearly a 70% discount off the normal price. Get in quick while stocks last. Visit the Mac Trade Services office in Rose Park or call 1300 430 917.
At Movability Australia, we have your lifestyle and mobility needs covered. From Australian-made and imported adjustable beds, lift and recline chairs, mobility scooters, walkers and wheelchairs, plus a full range of mobility aids. Movability Australia have a range of quality products and will help you find the right lifestyle and mobility solution to help increase your quality of life. And we offer free delivery anywhere in South Australia. With over 13 years experience, come and see the friendly staff at Movability Australia, Crittenden Road, Findon.
Your local IGA's now got all you need for your baby, and for a limited time you'll find the Huggies Lion King range in store, celebrating 30 years of Disney's Lion King. Get your little one into these roaring designs while they last. IGA, where the little locals matter.
Feel good health catch on with Bupa. Get up to 10 weeks free when you join Bupa on eligible products. T's and C's apply. For award-winning health insurance, search Bupa 10 weeks free today.
Shopping should be exciting, not dull. An adventure, not a chore. And fresh, not routine. So experience something new at Newton Central with Drake's, Serenity Hair & Co, Fandy Scissorhands, Terry White Chemist, Glitter and Polish Nail Salon and many more. Including the brand new Séjour Club, an independent boutique with one-of-a-kind handcrafted apparel and jewellery from 2 local designers. Want something new in your life? Choose a new local. Choose Newton Central, Gorge Road, Newton.
5 years. That's around 1,300 cycles in the dishwasher, 1,825 cups of coffee, and 3,650 pieces of toast. 5 years is also the length of the warranty on selected Smeg appliances at Adelaide Appliance Gallery. Get in quick though, because this offer is only available from the 1st of July till the 31st of July. Terms and conditions apply. For more information, head to promotions.smeg.com.au. Adelaide Appliance Gallery, Paynham Road, St Peters.
Find 40 years experience, plus Hyundai, Ford, Mitsubishi and Mazda at Steinborner Automotive, steinborner.com.au.
Live from the Kent Town Hotel, celebrating the 85th birthday of Ken KG Cunningham. This is a special Conversations with Cornesy, live.
Yeah, thanks for joining us live at the Kent Town Hotel. KG being feted and very well received, and you can feel the love in the room, KG.
No.
Lots of text messages. There's just one I've picked out. Okay.
Yep.
What happened to Frank? Sandra's first boyfriend. What happened to Frank?
That's a good story, but I don't care. If I ever come across him, I'd say, "Hey,
thank you.
You missed out on a big fish, fella."
Just quick, your cricketing career, just the highlight. I mean, you played with some of the greats.
Oh, it was for Garfield Sobers, Barry Richards, Well, some wonderful people. And
Chappells.
Chappells.
The highlight.
The highlight was being, the highlight was definitely, I don't mean to be a big hit here, but the highlight was the first time that I captained South Australia. Barry Robin played his first state game, and I was very lucky enough to make 203.
You're lucky, yeah.
And my mother was there and embraced me as I come up onto the terrace here.
203.
203.
And
All off the air, stud.
You were a great umpire. At the time, probably the best because you umpired grand finals. It came to a sudden end, your umpiring career. Why?
Well, I was a prima donna. I'd umpired the 63, 64, 65, 66 grand final, 4 in a row. And I umpired next year in 1967, the toughest game I ever had to umpire in my career, Port playing Glenelg. You were in the game. It was the toughest game that I've ever had to umpire. About 4 or 5 blokes went. You went to hospital, didn't you?
I was in hospital for a week.
It was the toughest game, and in those, you were a bit of a
Well, I was soft.
And I can recall in those days you used to get a précis of your performance on the following Tuesday night. And I've gone to training at Railway Oval, and the coach was Brian Lees. And I said, Brian, have you got my report? And he said, yeah, they gave you a little slip and they graded you. And I got an absolute shocker of a report. And I said to Brian Lees, Brian, this is crap. This is absolute nonsense. You were there. He said, look, it's tough. It's tough. I said, I'm not accepting this. This is utterly wrong. I'm not. In fact, I've had a gutful. I said, you can stick to umpiring. And I went, tore the report up on the middle of Railway Oval and walked off and said, that's it, I'm finished. Went home that night, wrote out my resignation, took it into Football House the next day, which was the Wednesday, gave it to Harry Clamp, used to be down the bay. He was the secretary at the time. He rang me the next morning and said, can you come in and see Mr. Phil Reid, chairman of the umpires board? I said, yeah, I'll come in, no problems. Walked in and there's Mr. Reid, an absolute gentleman. Said, Ken, this is very hasty. He said, this is an over-the-top reaction. Because my wife, Sandra, the night before had called me a wuss when I told her I was going to resign. She said, don't be a sook. Anyway, he said, this is over the top. I said, no, Mr. Reid, it's not. I know how I performed, and that report
is wrong.
Pathetic. Okay. It's totally and utterly wrong. I said, I'm finished. Walked out. I was 27 years of age and never umpired again. And that's one of the regrets I have in my life.
Okay, so you're 27, you're now 85. We're nearly halfway
Thanks.
through the last segment. We've got...
Thanks very much.
So we've got to get between...
Can you say that a bit softer?
Let's get onto the radio business. I mean, how on earth did you get this job where you've reigned over the radio waves?
Don't go over the top. No, look, it was a Friday in 1977. I was offered in the morning, I've got to get this right. In the morning I was offered to come out and coach, because World Series cricket had hit 1977. Everybody had gone to Packer. And I was offered, Phil Ridings offered me, he was chairman of the selectors, offered me the captaincy of South Australia, which I accepted. He said, we'll make the announcement next Wednesday in our boardroom. He had an office in King William Street. I've gone back, I was working for Noel Teasdale at the pub, and told him. And then in the afternoon, I'm having lunch with Noel, celebrating, and I got a call from Marty Smith, who writes on this day in the Advertiser, could I come round and see Paul Linkson, who I knew through the association with the charities. I've driven around and walked up the stairs and didn't know what it was about. I sat down and he said, I've just returned from America, Ken. I've been on a tour of America to see what is making news in the world of radio. What's happening in America is a sport talk drive program. He said it's gone gangbusters. Gangbusters. See how he interrupts me all the time?
I'm just trying to help.
Gangbusters. And he said, and I'm thinking, why is he telling me this, for goodness? Why? I couldn't care less with being in America. He said, I'm going to introduce that sort of format on radio here at 5DN. And he said, I want you to host it for me. I said, what?
Now, I know you're going to go on with all the false. I have to interrupt here because we've got to move quickly.
Yeah.
Do you know did he ever tell you what he saw in you to offer you that job?
No,
because
he didn't.
The only public profile you had then, other than being a cricketer and an umpiring, was on the Channel 9 sports show.
Correct,
You came across as this arrogant, argumentative troublemaker.
He's my friend.
Now that's not the.
Don't you laugh, Frank Pangallo?
But that's not the person you are. But you.
No.
But you. Who brought that out of you? Who told you to carry on and behave like that? Because that's Paul Linkson's impression of you.
Yeah, Paul, when I accepted the job, spoke to me about all that, and he put me on the right tram, and so did Les Favell, my state government. But cutting a long story short, so I was offered the captaincy and the job. Went home and told San. Cut a long story short, we spoke about it, changed my mind 20 times. I got up Monday morning, so I had to tell Paul Linkson by the Monday morning. I'd made a decision. I'm going to take the state captaincy. I have it for 3 years. There's security. If I go to the radio, it'll last 5 minutes. So I said to San, as she came out of the bedroom, I said, San, I'm going to take the state captaincy. And she wasn't a volatile person, my wife, not at all. And she walked up to me, I was at the breakfast bar, and she walked up to the breakfast bar and she said, why don't you, for the first time in your so-and-so life, and she banged the desk, chose some good old-fashioned so-and-so balls, banged the desk again, and take the so-and-so radio job. You've played cricket, you've done that. In fact, if you don't take the so-and-so radio job, don't come home tonight. So I took the radio job. True story.
And you were worried about the ratings.
Well,
he always worries about the ratings, folks. Even today, ratings day, he won't.
Well, I do. That's the lifeblood. I didn't even know then they had ratings.
What was the emotion like, the feeling like when you got the first notification of the ratings?
Well, I was down in the foyer talking to the receptionist, and one of our sales staff came down and said, Paul wants to see you in his office. And Jill said, it's ratings day. And I thought, oh, God, geez, here we go. I had no idea. And I walked into Paul's office. There was Marty Smith sitting there and Paul Links. And then I walked in. I broke out in a sweat, as Pat Gardner would know from Channel 9 over there. Broke out in a sweat. And he said, come in, Ken, sit down. And he said, the ratings are out, KG. I said, no, I didn't even know we had ratings, Paul. He said, and he got up out of his chair and he walked over to me and he said, congratulations, you just rated number 1. I said, yeah, Paul so-and-so. He said, no, you're number 1, 5AD. And I can't think of Grant Goldman, I think it was number 1 at the time on 5AD. And
you knocked him off.
And we beat him, yeah. Beat him.
And then, then there's this long career of ratings, high ratings, ups and downs.
Yes.
You left 5DN. 5DN changed to an FM station.
Correct.
You were offered to come to 5AA. Now, you told me...
What?
The offer that you had to come to 5AA.
Well, yeah, it was amazing.
What year was that?
It was in the early 80s, and I was offered, and again, it sounds like I'm being a big head, but I was offered $1 million for 3 years.
$1 million? Kenny Dickon
to go to 5AA. Craig Munn would know the story. Money, boss there, $1 million, and I was running that morning with Hooksy and Andrew Pearce, my producer, down to the bay and back, and the amount of people that spoke to me about it. I went home and told San the story that I've been offered $1 million, love, and she said, "Hey, remember the man who gave you your first opportunity?"
And you didn't come.
And she said, "I don't think you should go to 5AA." I said, "San, it's $1 million. For 3 years, $1 million? I'm lucky to say $1 million, though, let alone earn it." And she said, "No, you've got to be grateful for for the person who gave you your first job. I knocked it back.
Eventually, you came though when FIVEAA changed its format.
Yep.
So to make it brief, over those years of radio, what the highlight?
Well, there's many highlights, Stud, but I think overall, and I think back that I got an exemption from going to school at 12.
No, I'm talking about the radio. Not.
What do you mean?
The highlight of the radio. Oh, sorry, go on.
Yeah, the exemption from going to school, stuttered, couldn't talk, just to be lucky enough to be a person that's been so lucky to work for nearly 50 years in a media that I knew nothing about. And that's been an enormous journey. It's been an enormous highlight. I'm extremely grateful. And, you know, I still have to pinch myself along with the other thing that is close to me. That, having the opportunity to do that, the other thing was the day that I was asked to have the media centre at the Adelaide Oval carry my name. That'll be there forever. When I look at my two grandkids, when they go up and have a family, they'll go into that room and they'll be able to say, this is named after their pop. But the only regret I've got of all that is the three people that made it possible will never know it happened. And that's my mum and dad and my beautiful wife then. They'll never know. But I've been blessed.
You're making it very hard to carry on flippantly with this.
Well, mate, that's my life.
I'm looking at my producer. We've got how long? 3 minutes. We've got look, I want to do this quickly because
be quick because I've got something I want to do.
Yeah, well, no, we've got.
And you normally overrule me.
Okay. One word association. Okay, just one word. I'll say a name. One word association. Don Bradman.
Greatest cricketer ever.
Les Favell.
A second father to me, and was a marvellous man. A wonderful, best captain I played under.
Ian Chappell.
The hardest captain, but fairest captain I played under.
Kerry O'Keefe.
Dickhead. He caught me on the half volley in my last game.
Rick Davies.
Oh, the jumper. Now there's a man. I could tell you a million stories. All R-rated too, they are. And they're all true. He rang me this morning. 2
people in the room out of the next 3. John Blake.
Now I miss Blakey. I see him over there. He's over the years, he sounded more like me every time. And I want to thank you, Blakey, because you taking the mickey out of me so many times and creating my stutter was like gold for me.
2 more.
And mate, I love you, Blakey.
Greg Ritchie.
Greg Ritchie, Mahatma Coke. They were the days. You can't do it now. I used to, I can't say that. I used to cry tears.
And the last one, it's made to make you cry, as if you haven't done it enough. Sally Cunningham.
Oh, well.
Where is she?
She'll say, where are you, gorgeous?
There she is.
I'm living with her now and my 2 beautiful granddaughters. And she's like your mother. Got a fiery temper too, like Mum. But you've been beautiful, so sweetheart.
Right. Now we've got something special.
Yeah,
I know nothing about.
I just want to say quickly. Every Saturday morning, for those of you who have listened, would have heard my right-hand man here, and I've got to say this quickly.
Panel operator. You're a panel operator.
He saved my radio career. There's no doubt, and I'm sincere when I say that. He saved my radio career. I didn't want to work with him, but anyway, that's not the story. He goes to a commercial break. Then he comes out of the commercial break with a music stinger. And what he loves to do is to big note. And it used to give me the irrits that he'd firstly name the song. He knew that I wouldn't have a clue what the name was. Then he'd name the artist. And then the worst thing he would do is to break into bloody song. He's a very talented man, but the one thing he can't do, and never will be able to do, is sing a bloody song. He can't hit one note. This is
very harsh.
Oh, but very true. But this is my, see, it's my birthday. I want to do you a favour. I've got a friend who is 85. He's got a good voice. He knows how to teach people how to sing. So he was kind enough to put a bit of a song on tape.
Yep.
So I want you to sit back and listen to this gentleman sing, keeping in mind he's 85. Here we go. I left my heart in San Francisco, high on a hill. It calls to me to be where little cable cars climb halfway to the stars. The morning fog may chew the air. When I come home to you, San Francisco, your golden sun will shine for me. Oh, stud, eat your heart out, son. Anytime you want to listen, I'm available. Any time for you, stud. Rather than hear you sing of a Saturday morning, we've got to get that right. And to all the wonderful people that have been a large part of my life, I want to say a very big thank you for coming today. You've made my life wonderful.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. The one and only KG Cunningham.
Nothing beats driving the brand new Gen 2024 Mitsubishi Triton. Actually, scratch that. Nothing beats driving away in your very own. Actually, even better, driving away in your very own brand new Gen 2024 Mitsubishi Triton from Agostino Mitsubishi. Knowing it comes with a 10-year warranty and 10-year cap price servicing, test drive the brand new Gen 2024 Mitsubishi Triton today at Agostino Mitsubishi Nailsworth or Mawson Lakes. Exclusions and conditions including Mitsubishi servicing apply.
Welcome to Life's Key Moments, brought to you by First National Real Estate.